the Simple Glide Fat Tire 750 watt E-Trike, how to assemble it, and all the features. Stick around. Hey everyone, I'm Dustin. I have nearly 20 years experience in the bike and e-bike industry, and today I'm going to show you how to assemble the Simple Glide 750 watt Fat Tire E-Trike and also show you some of the features. Now, before I get into it, hit that subscribe button below. Stay in touch with us here at Sixthreezero. Be the first to know about all the new content we're putting out, giveaways we do, and of course, new product releases. Also, the Simple Glide Fat Tire is linked in the description below if you want to check it out. All right, so this is how your Simple Glide is going to arrive to you. Fairly large box, weighs about 100 pounds. So when it gets dropped off, you want to try to get it up to your driveway or garage or wherever you want it to be when you're going to assemble it. Now, to begin your assembly process, you'll just flip your lid open like so. And also be mindful of that there are staples in here, very large staples. So either be careful, or you can also just sort of hit these out of the box and pull them out and throw them away to ensure they don't scratch up your arms at all. So something to be very careful of during the assembly process. All right, we're gonna flip the lid open, bring you in closer and show you exactly what's going on here. Okay, so when you open up your box, you're gonna see you got a lot going on here. So the first step we're gonna wanna do is start to snip anything we can with the zip ties. So you're gonna either want some snips or sharp scissors. You can use a box cutter to cut the zip ties, but just be very careful you're cutting away so you don't cut anything on the actual bike or scratch it up. So I'm gonna come in here, start snipping off the zip ties. Now also you can see the bottom of the seat is loose here. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that to the side. Okay. And let's just see. Okay, now here's the back to our seat as well. So let's go ahead and get that out of here. And we will set that to the side also. Okay. All right. And let's see, any other zip ties we can cut right here. I'm just gonna leave the garbage in the box. Okay, now right here, I believe on the top of this fender, oh no, yep, okay. And let's go ahead and pull this off. Okay, we got one more here with this front tire. Go ahead and pull that off. And let's move this piece of cardboard. All right, now you can see down in here, you've got your basket. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out. Go ahead and set that to the side. And I just wanna see if there's anything else I need to snip in order to make this easy for me to roll it out of here. So we got one more here on the battery. Now the battery is gonna be attached, so you don't have to snip that off right now, but might as well. One more here on top of this fender, and take that off. Got another couple little ones down here as well. Snip those off. Okay. So you can see here that it comes folded in half right here, okay? So the frame does fold. So it allows us to get in a smaller box. So the easiest way to get this out of here is to grab your box cutter. And you're gonna come up, now you can see it's double boxed, which is great for protection. And we're gonna just cut right here on this seam, okay? And Just make sure you get through both boxes. Now, for whatever reason, if you need the box, you want to make sure that you can tape this back up again. Okay, there we go. All right, now we have this little garage door here for us. So we can just go ahead and pull this out. Make sure, go ahead and get your wheel out. Your front wheel. Right here. Okay. Now I'm going to leave it right here. And we've got one more zip tie down there I'm going to cut. Let's keep all of our garbage in there. Okay, so right here, and clip that. All right, now we've got our fork free. Okay, one more zip tie right here. A little packaging. All right, so from this point, you have two choices. One is to remove packaging, or two is to leave it on. Honestly, I think if you can just leave it on, it's better because it will protect the frame, okay? So what we're gonna wanna do is let's go ahead and get our handlebars up here, okay? So here are your handlebars. And we're gonna insert them into our stem right here. Okay. Now, if you notice on the handlebars, there's an indentation here, and inside of the stem, if you wanna come in here, you're gonna see a little notch right here. So you have to slide the handlebars into the correct place so the notch slides in. So I gotta bring these down here, okay? And then you wanna get the notch in there, and from there they slide in, and then we can go ahead and tilt these up, okay? And then I'm just gonna lock this in place. Okay, the other thing too is on these handlebars, if you notice, these are a quick release stem. So you just pull this lever down and then you lift up here and that loosens your handlebars. So let me see, I'm got kind of turned around backwards here, but let me go ahead and straighten out our fork. Okay. So I can get an idea of what we need to do here. Okay. Okay, so you want to get the handlebars where your stem is going forward, and your display obviously is right here on the top. So it may take a little twisting and turning. You may have to pull the handlebars out. But you will get there eventually. Also, I just want to point this out again with the stem here. You can loosen this, and then you have the ability to find the right position. Now, I'll get into that a little bit more later on how to tighten it and utilize it, but this is how you move the stem and also how you move the handlebars. So I'm gonna get these positioned up like that. There we go. And then move our display back. Perfect. Okay. So now that we have the fork facing forward, so you want to make sure the light is facing forward. And now we have to, I unfolded the frame, but if you want to come over here, I will show you exactly what you need to do to lock the frame in place. So you can see we've got our quick release mechanism here, and it's not locked in, okay? So what you're gonna do is you have to lift up, and then they will go in. So you pull up right here, and that's what you'll do to unlock it as well. Then from there, let me go ahead and remove this. You're gonna clamp this way, twist, and clamp up. And now your frame is locked in place. Okay, so from there, the next step is we wanna get the front wheel on, because that's gonna make our life quite a bit easier. So let's go ahead and pull off all this packaging. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take all of our washers off here. So you've got a washer with this little notch and another just standard washer. Let's take those off. Okay. Now, you obviously need to put your rotor on the same side as your brake caliper, okay? So you're gonna lift up your front end here, and you're gonna slide you need to get your rotor in between the brake pads. And if you can see here, the brake pads are in here, and you slide your rotor right in, and then your wheel will sit on there nicely, okay? And let me go ahead and take off this bubble wrap. Beautiful. Okay, now to put your washers on, you're gonna put the one with the little latch on first, and that is going to go into this hole right here. So there's a little hole. You're gonna insert that, put your other washer on top, followed by your nut. And we're gonna repeat that process here on the same side. Now, the other hole there would be for a fender strut, but we don't have a fender strut on this fender. Okay. So from there, we're gonna come with our 15 millimeter, and we are gonna tighten this down. And you want to tighten this to the point where you can't tighten it anymore. So give it some good hard cranks, okay? All right, and we're good to go. Go ahead and put that back in here. All right. All right, now let's move on to installing our seat. So on the support of the seat, there's gonna be a bag with hardware. So go ahead and take that off. And let's put our seat right there. And the first step is going to be mounting our seat onto our rails here, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna lay my bolts out here just to make sure I don't lose anything, okay? Okay, so we've got 4 little bolts and 4 longer bolts, okay? So these shorter bolts are gonna be for mounting the seat to the rails. So first thing you need to do is you wanna slide these rails forward, okay? So twist this down, and that will allow you to move your rails, okay? So push them all the way forward. And then you want to put the narrower side to the back, okay? So we're gonna set that down, it'll go just like that. Now, looking underneath here, you're gonna see there's 2 holes in the front and there is a hole through the sliding bracket. You're gonna push up through the bracket and go ahead and tighten the bolt in. Now we don't wanna tighten these all the way. I wanna have some play there. So let's go ahead and just leave that a little bit loose. Feed this one through and do the same thing. And same deal. Let's not tighten it all the way. Okay, all right. Now, what you wanna do is you wanna pull your seat guide down. Okay, so to move the seat, you tilt this down and then we're gonna slide the seat all the way back, okay? Now, there's a couple tricks to this. I'm doing this by myself. If you have somebody with you, it makes it a lot easier. If you tilt the trike kind of on the side, I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So if someone kind of holds it like this, makes it a lot easier to see the holes and where to put them, but I'm an experienced builder here, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it like this. So feed my Allen key into my bolt here, and you're gonna find, same thing, you're gonna find the hole on the rail, line that up with the hole on the seat, and tighten that on, okay? Same thing on this side. And this is why at this point, you'll have wanted to have left these kind of loose, so you have enough leniency to get this last one in. Now, once we have them all threaded, let's go ahead and go back and tighten these down all the way, okay? So when I tighten those the back ones, just remember, now to get the forward ones, we gotta click down, slide the seat forward, and then from here, I can get access to these 2. Okay, now to install the backrest. If you don't have someone that can help you by tilting the bike like this, find a mat, and I'm actually gonna tilt this down and lean it down to the ground like so. This is gonna make it a lot easier. If you come over to this side, so you'll be able to see under the seat here are the 2 holes, okay? Okay, so one important piece when you're putting the backrest on, slide the seat all the way back to ensure you can line up the holes here, okay? So let's go ahead and pop our first bolt in, and then we will come over here, okay? Line that one up and tighten it in. Now again, same principle, let's leave it loose to ensure we have enough wiggle room to get the rest of these in here. Okay, now let's go ahead and put this one in. And you can always slide the seat back more if you need to. That should help quite a bit. Okay, now when I have that one in, we'll go ahead and switch to the other side. Okay, now, once we have one side on, this side should be quite a bit easier. You're gonna feed it onto the end of your Allen key and come up here and then just find your hole. There we go. And And go ahead and tighten it in. Okay, now remember, leave that loose so we can get our last bolt in. Same thing, feed it onto the end of your Allen key. Poke it through and find your threads and tighten it in. So really on the first two bolts you attach, it's very helpful to have a second hand to not only tilt the bike, but also help align it. And once you get those two in, the remaining will be easy. Now I'll just come back through and tighten these. Okay, finally, we're gonna install the basket. So your charger comes zip tied in the basket. So just go ahead and set that back here. And your basket is gonna mount to these 4 bolts right here. So let's get our Allen key. This is our 4mm, so you're gonna go ahead and just remove all 4 of these bolts. So when you come to install the basket, you want to have enough clearance here for your light, obviously. So there's this second metal bracket. You wanna kind of rest that up against the bottom of the, of the bracket, okay? And then you'll feed your bolt in like so. Just get one of them started there, okay? And again, I like to get all 4 in loose before I start tightening. All right, so make sure to put them in loose. If you put them too tight, you will not be able to get all 4 of these in here, okay? So leave it nice and loose. And then we'll come in and then we'll push this one in as well. Okay. All right. All right, and now once you have them all loose in there, you're gonna go back through and just tighten them all on. Okay, I just wanna point out some of the features here now that we have it all assembled. A couple things for your tire pressure. You will see on the side of the tire, it'll tell you the PSI. And so the max PSI on here is 20 PSI. Okay, so you don't wanna go over that when filling up the tire. In addition to that, you'll notice right here, there's a sticker that says, please lift up the backrest when pedaling. So you wanna make sure if you're gonna pedal that this is up, because if it's down, you're gonna hit the pedals on the backrest, on the footrest, okay? So go ahead and flip that up. Now for the seat, you'll see you can put the armrests up and down. The seat does not tilt. This is the fixed position. Now to move your seat forward and backward, like I said, you're gonna turn this down, push that down, and your seat can slide back, tilt it down, seat can slide forward, okay? So that's important. And if it goes under like this, you just have to get your hand under there and then lock it back into place. Now, coming up here to your controls, a couple things I wanna point out. Your battery, in order to turn the e-bike on, you need to turn the battery on. So if you can look from the front side here, there is a button right here. You'll need to press and hold, and you will see it illuminate either blue or green, which means the battery is on, at which point you can come up here and hold your power button and your display will illuminate. Now, the keys to your battery are right here. And the keys are not to actually turn it on or off, it's to remove the battery. So in order to remove the battery, you put the key in here and you slide the battery, you can take it out. To charge your battery, you can either remove it and charge it, or you can leave it on and charge it. And again, I'll bring you up here to the front. Your charging port is right here, and you will plug that into any at-home outlet and you can charge it that way. Go ahead and push that back in. If you're not charging, just so no moisture gets in there, no damage is caused. Now, you'll see your rear brake lights here. Anytime you have the brakes engaged, those will be illuminated, okay? So right now we have the parking brake on, and I'll show you the parking brake. The parking brake is engaged right here by pushing this down. So a lot of times it's a two-hand job for this. So you can pull, you can push and then release, or you can pull and then bring your other hand over and lock. And there's a parking brake on each caliper. Now to operate, you've got your plus and minus here for your assist levels. You can turn it up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, shows you on your display. This is your battery life, your miles per hour, and your odometer. Now this is the gears of the bike. You have 7 gears you can shift. Those are shifted by pressing here to go up and here to go down. Usually the higher level of assistance you're in, the higher gear you want to be in. Now your throttle is right here. This is a twist throttle. In order for this to work, you will have to have it in at least pedal assist 1, and you will twist it towards you for the trike to go. Now, this is a kill switch. So if it is popped out, your throttle will not work. That's a safety feature. If you're moving the bike or off the bike and you want to ensure you don't accidentally twist that, have that popped out. Now, real quick too, I'll show you how to operate the light. To operate the light, you will press and hold the plus button, and on your display here, you will see the little light symbol pop up, and then your light will turn on down here. And to turn it off, you will just press and release your button here. A couple other things too is the stem, like I said, is a quick release where you can flip this and now it can move. Now, one thing I want to point out is if you are experiencing that your stem is slipping, okay, you can actually go ahead and tighten this by sticking your, I think it's your 4mm, let me confirm. Maybe your 5mm. You'll want to stick it down into this hole right here, and there's an Allen key bolt, okay? And you'll want to tighten that. I think it may be a 4mm. Nope, it's a 5. So you can turn that and tighten it, and what that does is it just makes, when you clamp this, it makes it tighter. Now, if you find that you can't get it to move, you might want to loosen it a little bit. And you can just figure out wherever the best position for you is and go ahead and clamp that down. Also, you have the ability to raise and lower the stem right here. Okay, so you can find the perfect position for you. The cool thing about this quick release too is you have a lot of play here. Let me go ahead and show you. I mean, you can bring that all the way back to your body like so, and you can clamp it down right here. And you can even tilt that down more. So there's a lot of options to find the perfect riding position for you and your body. And it's really nice that you have your display right here. Another thing I just want to point out is if the bike ever doesn't turn on, or maybe you have a display issue, I want to show you all of your connections are located right here. It's not impossible that sometimes these may come loose. So you just want to make sure everything up here is properly connected and tightened to ensure that everything up here works. Now, another thing I wanted to show you is if you noticed before, I don't know if you saw, but there was a little error message displaying on the screen. Sometimes when you engage the parking brake, it will show that, because when the brakes are engaged, the electric pedal assist or throttle will not work at all. So something to just be aware of while you're out and riding. Like we showed you before, also, you can fold the stem down here. It came unfolded. You can also fold the frame in half as well. And another thing I want to point out with the footrest is if you do find that the back of your heel hits the footrest and you don't want it, you can very easily remove this by taking your Allen key and removing 3 bolts and just take it off completely. So that's totally up to you if you want to keep it on or remove it. Again, If you are someone with a larger shoe size, there might be a possibility you hit the back of your heel on the footrest. Now, the other thing in regards to the brakes and the gears, both of them are pre-tuned out of the factory, so you shouldn't have to assemble or do any assembly with those. However, if you feel like when you pull the lever, it doesn't give you the response you want, we recommend taking it to a professional to adjust the gears for you. I also want to show you that up here in the calipers, there's actually brake pads inside of this braking mechanism that clamp onto the rotor. Over time, those will wear down and your braking power will become less. So that may be something you have to replace in a year, in 2 years, maybe shorter depending on how often you ride. So if you feel like your brakes are not responding the way they should, you might need to get them tuned, bring the calipers in closer, or it might be time to replace them. It is something you can do at home. There's videos online for how to do it. You can also buy brake pads inexpensively online for less than $10. All right, so that's the Simple Glide 750 watt recumbent E-Trike. If you have any other questions about it at all, please comment below or reach out to us, the team at sixthreezero.com, or call us 310-982-2877. Don't forget, it's also linked in the description if you want to check it out. In addition to that, we offer a 30-day test ride your E-Trike policy. If you don't love it in the first 30 days, send it back. No questions asked, no money out of your pocket. We're also going to warranty everything for 1 year. Anything goes wrong in the first year, we'll take care of it, parts and labor. And if you want to come for a test ride, we're here in San Clemente, California at 1046 Calle Recodo Unit K. Come on out and test ride any of our E-Trikes before you purchase. Also, join our community. We have a Facebook group called 630 Peddlers. Join the group before you purchase to talk to existing riders to ensure you're making the right choice. Then when you have yours, download the app, track your rides, and compete on the leaderboard. So thanks for sticking around, and don't forget, it's your journey or experience. Enjoy the ride.